to send you out of class for a little bit this morning. My name is Miss Woolard, and I'm the new counselor here at CCA. I'll be working with students with the last names CU through HU. And today we're going to do our freshman 9th grade counseling presentation. So we're going to talk about getting connected here on campus, finding some of the resources that we have for our freshman students, and then begin talking about academic course planning, graduation requirements, and college eligibility requirements. So as we go through the presentation, we're going to cover a ton of information, and it's going to feel like a lot of information, so don't feel like you guys have to memorize it all or write it all down right now. This presentation is on the counseling website, and everything that you see behind you that's going to be highlighted in red is a hyperlink. So when you guys are flipping through this presentation online, you can link right to the websites and the documents that I'm going to show you. And then tonight, your parents will have the opportunity to come and hear the same information, so you guys can talk it over with them, you can walk through the presentations with them, and start talking about kind of some of your goals for high school and afterwards. So here's the list of counselors this year, and you can see that we have you guys broken down by alphabet, which is awesome because this allows us to work with you and your siblings, so we'll get to know your family a little bit, and we'll get to work with you from your 9th grade year all the way through your senior year. So you can go ahead and see who your counselor is, listed by alpha. You'll also see Darlene Burton works in the Student Services Building. She is the College and Career Center Coordinator. So she is a great resource for you guys if you ever want to talk about colleges, programs, internships, scholarships. You can come by and set up an appointment with Darlene. And Andy Shepard will help with any transcript issues that you guys have. All right, so how do you get in touch with your counselor and what are we available for? We are primarily available to you guys for 3 different reasons. We're always around for academic planning and course selection. So in the spring, when you guys are looking at picking your classes for sophomore year, you'll be able to meet with your counselor and get some guidance about the courses that you want to sign up for. College and career planning, so if you're starting to look into majors you might be interested in, if you want to talk about what types of schools, where you want to live while you're in college, if you're wanting to get some internship or job experience that will look good on your application and help you get there, we can talk to you about that. And then we're here for social emotional support and intervention. So that sounds maybe serious, but it can be anything from something that happens at home that you want to come in and talk with the counselor about. If you're having a concern with your friends on campus or some of your teachers, you can come in and talk with us, and we can help you to mediate some of those conflicts that you might have. How can you get in touch with your counselor? So we have walk-in hours every day before school from 7:30 to 8, at lunchtime, and after school from 3 to 3:30. You can just walk in, drop by. That's good for a quick question that you might have. If you want to meet with your counselor for longer than just a few minutes, we really like it if you guys submit a call slip and you can tell us which period you want us to pull you out of so that you don't feel like you're missing one of your hardest courses. So you just drop off the call slip that requests the period that you want to meet, and we will send a pass to get you out of class and have you come in and talk with us for a little bit longer. And then if there's ever something that comes up urgently during the day, we have an open door policy for that, so you are welcome to come to counseling. Just let your teacher know that you need to see a counselor, check in with the counseling secretary, and some of you guys may have one of the counselors that you know. You're welcome to talk to whichever one you want if you have an urgent thing going on during the day. So as a freshman, one of the most important things about getting to know what's going on campus, staying connected to people, making sure that you meet deadlines or requirements, is just staying informed. And there's a lot of information that floats around, and so here's a list of the things that will help you guys to know what's going on your campus. The daily bulletin and CCA TV will happen for you guys right in class, so you'll always get to hear those announcements. The Counseling College and Career Center newsletter is available on the CCA website if you go to the Counseling tab, and that's going to be related to college visits that are happening, course selection information that's coming up, registration, counseling-related information will be in there. The counseling website and 9th grade page is specific to you. You can look up the 9th grade counseling calendar, and that's going to be dates that are only relevant for 9th graders. So you will be able to find testing dates on there, registration dates. If you're applying for different programs, there might be application deadlines, and all of that will be listed on the calendar. Aside from that, it's good to just get connected, get to know your teachers. I went to the back to school night just to get to know some of the teachers this year, and I was really impressed by how willing they are to come in during lunch, to stay after school. So they're great people to get close with beyond just being in their classroom. Ask them questions, they can help keep you informed. And counseling is the same thing. If you guys want to come by during the walk-in hours, just to introduce yourself, especially if you haven't met your counselor yet, and you have a question about a club on campus, a program on campus, where to find information, just come by and say hi to us and use those walk-in hours. The next upcoming event that would be great for you guys is the CCA Club Fair put on by ASB, and that will be happening on Thursday, October 8th. So you can attend, and there will be representatives from all the clubs that are available on campus. So you can ask questions, see what kind of projects they do, kind of see what their role is in the school, and find out if there's anything that you want to join this year. And then Naviance. How many of you have heard of Naviance? Okay, a lot of you probably used it in middle school, so it's going to be familiar for you. You'll use it throughout high school, so you'll really rely on it the most during your senior year, but the more familiar you get with Naviance, the more of a helpful tool it'll be for you. And there's more on there than just the college applications. There's going to be like academic planning tools. There's going to be some personal inventories that you can take. And there's tools where you can track your community service hours and start building your resume. Alright, tips for 9th grade students. So this is more like, how do you be a successful 9th grader? How do you balance the different demands that are going to be placed on your time as a high school student? Develop your study skills. Some people think 9th grade is a year where you can just kind of come in and it's not going to count as much towards your college applications. And the truth is that 9th grade, it is a good year to practice, but it's a year that you want to get off on a good foot, and you want to get your academics really strong. You want to develop those study skills. You want to learn how to manage your time and keep your coursework organized. So this is a good time to figure out what study methods work best for you and how you best stay organized, whether that's punching stuff into your phone, whether that's keeping a planner, whether that's having like an online calendar that sends you reminders. Everybody works a little differently. And in this year, you're going to see how fast the 4x4 schedule goes. And so if you start getting into some of the coursework and you're feeling overwhelmed, it's important that you are talking to your teachers early on. We offer study hall every day. Teachers will come in and meet with you and do extra tutoring. Find peers that are doing well in the class and form study groups with them. So this is a great year to kind of ease into things, but also get some good practice at how you're going to balance all of your academics with your extracurriculars for the next 4 years. Monitor your grades. So grades kind of sneak up on you. You don't want to wait until the very end of the quarter or the end of the term to realize that you missed an assignment and that you have a 0 in the grade book, or to realize that you did poorly on an exam. So if you want to just stay on top of that, the best way is to check in on Aries. Most of the teachers update your grades regularly on Aries so you can see how you're doing. And then if you're concerned about a grade or you're not happy with one of the assignments that you turned in, you're not going in at the very end of the semester saying, I didn't know, or like, I didn't know that this was late, can I please make this up now? Talk with your teachers early and try to get your grades to where you want them as you're working through the class. Maintain a healthy lifestyle. So this is where we talk to you guys about balance and not feeling pressure to be the #1 academic student all the time. We want you to explore your passions while you're in high school. We want you to play sports, join clubs, do performances, enjoy music. So you guys are people first, and that is something that even college admissions officers are going to recognize when they're looking for well-rounded students who stand out from the crowd. So this is, we'll tell you guys all the way through, balance, balance, balance. And that means you're taking care of yourself, you're doing things you enjoy, you're spending time with friends, you're getting enough sleep and eating well and taking care of yourself. and you're taking classes that are challenging you but not completely overwhelming you. Maintain good grades. So this line that says that your grades should be an accurate reflection of your abilities. This is where you want to choose classes that are appropriate for your ability level and the amount of work that you're willing to put in. So if you are getting really poor grades and you feel like you're able to achieve much higher, then maybe you've selected a class that you would want to reconsider. So this is just something you can talk through with teachers and counselors to see what they would recommend and find out kind of how much work you're looking at putting into a class to get the grade that you want to have. So the graduation requirements are listed behind me, and you can go ahead and just take a look. I won't read every single one of these to you, but you'll be able to see that while you're in high school, you'll take 40 credits of English in order to graduate. So here at CCA on the 4x4, every term is going to be worth the 10 credits. So a term is equivalent to a year. So if you take English in the fall, you'll take 2 quarters of English, but that will be worth 10 credits overall. So each quarter earns you 5 credits. And in order to earn credits in high school, you have to pass the class with a D or higher. If you receive an F in a class, then you get 0 credits for that class. So yeah, you can go ahead and see like English will easily be met, social science will easily be met. If you look down at electives and see 70 credits, that doesn't mean you have to take 7 years of electives. It just means that you have to take 7 terms of electives. So if you took imaging in the fall and advanced imaging in the spring, you would get 20 credits of electives for that. All right, grades and transcripts. On the 4x4 schedule, there's going to be 2 permanent grades each term. So like in the fall, you're going to get a quarter grade, and then you'll get a grade at the end of the term. So the way that schools will look at that is each one is a semester. It's almost like there's a fall semester and a spring semester in the fall. And then in the spring, another fall semester, spring semester. So you'll be taking a total of 2 full year-round classes in each period across the span of a year here at CCA. Plus and minus signs are not shown on your official transcripts. So our grade breakdown doesn't include, like if you get a 95 or higher, it's not going to reflect as an A+, it'll be an A all the way down to a 90. You can review your transcript and your graduation status by using the ARIES portal. So you can get on and see how many credits you've earned, how many credits you still need to get, and see if you're on track to graduate. If you have a question or concern about your current grades, please contact the teacher directly. So a lot of times students will come to counseling first with a question about their grade or a question about a specific course. And the best thing you guys can do is actually to talk directly to your teacher first and get your questions answered by them, because they are the ones who are in charge of grading you in that course. All right, CSU/UC subject requirements. You guys will hear these called the A through Gs. So if you hear people talking about college eligibility requirements or A through G requirements or UC requirements, they're talking about the same thing. And it's these CSU/UC subject requirements. So for the most part, your graduation requirements in this district are fairly closely aligned with the college eligibility requirements. So when you look at this list, you can see that you will automatically meet the history social science requirement by meeting the graduation requirements. Same goes for English. You're required to take 4 years to graduate. There's 4 years required by the UCs and CSUs. The subject areas that are a little bit different is math. You're only required to take 3 years of math to be a graduate from CCA, but the UCs and CSUs want to see you taking 4 years of math. And here at CCA, that's 4 terms of math, so it doesn't mean that you're taking math straight through for 4 years, just that you're completing 4 math classes. Lab science, there's 2 years required, but they recommend that you take 3, and then foreign language is the other one that they are going to want to see you take at least 2 years of recommendation, 2 years of a foreign language, but a recommendation of 3. That's one that the admissions officers are they really emphasize the language. They want to see that foreign language on your transcript. And language is not a graduation requirement, so that one is only if you're working towards college eligibility. Important note is that all of your courses must be completed with a C or higher to be counted towards college eligibility. So if you receive a D or an F in a class, you'll have to retake that class to get the F off your transcript to have the college accept that course. Alright, so College and Career Center and the Counseling Office, we're all located up in the Student Services Building. So that's right there in the middle of campus. And here's just some of the stuff that happens in there. Miss Burton, I told you about, is our College and Career Center coordinator. And she's here Monday through Thursday from 11 to 3, and on Fridays from 11 to 2. She's really knowledgeable about Naviance, about searching for scholarships, searching for internships, and looking at really specific programs. So if you have really specific college questions, she gets to sit in on every single college visit that comes to campus. So she's met a lot of admissions officers, she's gone on a lot of college tours, and asks great questions. So she has a ton of information that she likes to share with students. Most of the time, we recommend that students wait until their junior or senior year to start scheduling appointments with Miss Burton to ask those specific college questions. But if you're really eager and have something that you want to talk to her about, she's available. We have a bunch of computers in there that have the Microsoft suite that are available for you guys to use during the school day and after school. And then if you're doing some test prep, we've got PSAT, ACT, SAT, and AP prep books and guides where you guys can come in, form study groups, borrow those materials, and start practicing before you take some of the standardized tests. Exploring and planning. So, like you guys said, you've, for the most part, used Naviance, and a lot of students kind of save Naviance for their senior year when they're filling out applications, but we're just encouraging you guys to utilize Naviance. The district actually works with Naviance and has paid for a lot of tools that are available for you to use on there that can be really valuable. So one of the ones that we're encouraging you to do this year as freshmen is to make sure that you're logged onto Naviance. So if you go to the Family Connection page, you'll see this tab. You can either say that you can fill in your information if you've already logged in, or you can say, I need to register. And your registration code is just your student ID number. So I need to register, punch in your student ID, and you'll be in your Naviance account. Please put in a current, valid email address. We use Naviance to communicate a lot of time-sensitive information, and we'll send grade-specific emails out to you. So we need to have updated contact info in there. And then some of you might have parents that want to be looking at your college lists, looking at some of the stuff you're doing on Naviance. So if they want to create their own parent account, they can do that. They just use your student ID number and they put a P on at the end of it, and then they have their very own account where they can see what you're working on. So we would love it if you would find the Do What You Are inventory. When you log on, there's 3 tabs. It'll be colleges, careers, and About Me. So the Do What You Are inventory is under the About Me tab. And it's kind of like a Myers-Briggs-ish type of a personality assessment where it'll give you a list of majors and careers that you might be interested in. It's not saying that that's what you're stuck doing for the rest of your life. It just might give you an idea of some of the electives that you could take here at CCA to see if you enjoy that area of study. And then if you find colleges you're interested in, you can start adding them to your college list just to remind yourself to go back to that specific college website and check it out in more detail. Alright, who's heard of a 4-year plan? It's kind of a buzzword. A lot of freshmen want to come in and have a 4-year plan right when they get here. So we actually recommend that you guys give yourself the first semester to see what high school is like, to see how your classes go, to see what kinds of courses you really want to be taking while you're here in high school. And then we would love to help you set up 4-year plans in the spring once you've kind of gotten a sense of what your goals are. So when you start creating your 4-year plan, the most important things are that 4-year plan needs to include all the classes that you need to graduate, and then if you're planning to apply to UCs or CSUs, you want to also make sure that you're including all the A through G courses into your 4-year plan. Be challenged but not overwhelmed, so don't feel the pressure to, did this just get louder? I feel like I just got significantly louder. Don't feel pressure to sign up for all AP courses for every single course that you're taking. We encourage you to take APs in the subjects that you really like, the subjects that you're naturally good at, the subjects that you're interested in, and if you're hoping to pursue that in college. And then we also want you guys to take classes that allow you to do the extracurriculars that you love and get involved in other areas. And CCA allows you to take 8 classes a year, so that gives you guys a lot of wiggle room to take electives, to take performing arts, to take art classes, to take STEM courses. So definitely take advantage of those programs, because those are the ones that really will differentiate your high school experience from every other student. There is no universal plan. It should be unique to you and your goals. So this is something that you'll want to work on with your parents, with your counselor. Won't necessarily help to sit down and ask your friends, like, hey, what classes do you guys want to take next year? Because you're all interested in different things and headed in different directions. You guys can research various colleges and careers on Naviance and on college websites to find out about specific requirements. So there are certain schools that absolutely require 4 years of science or require 4 years of math. So if you have a dream school, you might want to just check that out, and when you're making your 4-year plan, try to build those things in early so that they're not something that's surprising you during your senior year. And then the plan should be considered flexible and can be revised at any time. So just because you write down your 4-year plan doesn't mean you have to stick to those exact classes. We're going to work with you to make sure that you meet all of the graduation requirements and that you are eligible to apply to the schools that you want to apply to when you're getting ready to graduate. We have a fillable PDF on the counseling website. So if you go to CCA website, counseling, there's going to be a link on there that says 4-year plan. If you click on that, it has all of the graduation requirements and the UCCSU requirements listed. And then there's a space where you can write in the courses that you're planning to take for all 4 years, all the different terms. Yeah, so here's a copy. And this is what you guys can work on with your parents at home. And then in the spring, when you're getting ready to do course selection, feel free to set up meetings with your counselors where we can kind of take a look at your 4-year plan and talk about the selections that you've made and work on this together. We'll just keep revising this document the whole time you're in high school. So you'll get familiar with that. All right. I can't stress enough how important it is to visit the counseling website. I know there's a lot of really detailed questions that come up about how many credits of this do I need, and where can I take this class, and can we take an off-campus course, and how do I get PE credit? And all of those kinds of questions are answered on the counseling website. So there's a ton of information on there and a ton of resources, and we'll also keep it updated with any presentations that we're giving to you guys if you forget something from today and you want to look it up. Ms. Burton keeps it updated with the college visits that are coming to campus. So yeah, you and your parents should just take a look at the counseling website, and if you ever have any questions, go ahead and start there, and then if you still can't find an answer online, feel free to get in touch with somebody to get your questions answered. Okay, do you guys have any questions? They don't have to be about something I talked about in the presentation today. It can be a question about CCA. Up there? What's your question?
What is a practical art?
Okay, her question is, what is a practical art? So there's a requirement that you get 10 credits of practical art credit to graduate from CCA. And there's going to be a list of practical arts if you go to the counseling website, to the course profiles tab, and you can select practical arts as a category, and that will give you a whole list of classes that count as practical art credits. So you guys can go ahead and check out that list. Any of those classes would be considered a practical art. Any other questions? We've got another question over here. You can go ahead and quiet down. So he wants to know, if you're not here on the day of the club fair, how can you get information about the clubs on campus? You could definitely talk to any students who are in ASB. They're the ones who are putting on club day. You could talk to Mr. Portman, who is the ASB advisor, or you can go online to the ASB website and check out the list of clubs online. Good. Anybody else?